So good morning. Thank you guys for coming out this weather. We do have an extra umbrella. I'll say again on camera to prove that I did bring an extra umbrella if anybody wants one. Thank you for coming out. We're going to do a quick site walk today. Steve Downey from the DPW is here is going to lead us around. We have playground renderings and then some other handouts that will sort of help to add some detail to some of the planning that's still going on. So with that, I'll turn it over to Steve.
I don't know. I mean, we're hopeful to start site work tomorrow, dropping it all to subgrade, about a foot low. And then after that, it's basically a couple weeks, 2 weeks from tomorrow, equipment's coming, and then it'll be constant every day. The installer's coming, I think the day after the equipment comes. We're going to store the equipment over here at the shop. But I mean, other than that, I don't know what you want to.
Well, I guess just so first, here's the design of the plan. We've got just for anybody who's not familiar with it, we've got the young area, the 2 to 5 area, which is here, which will actually be over in this area behind the apple tree. Then the swings, right? The swing banks, and those are all along the back there. And then if you move over, keep going over, you've got the natural play area in the middle, and then the zip line is here, and then the 5 to 12 area is going to be pretty much where the tree is over here. So just to kind of orient yourself, that's kind of how it's going to laid out. And then Steve's marked out some general locations of where the perimeter fencing would go, and then where the gate in the back would go for the maintenance. And then also approximate locations for the rebuild of the new entryway, and we can kind of walk that and see how that goes, and ask questions as we go.
So are those orange sticks for the fencing? Okay.
No.
I was gonna say.
Where did we end up, Steve, on the fencing on this edge over here? Like I remember, I think you had it like running like right, like that, and we wanted to bring it back kind of along this way, like this, to get the tree in there.
Probably what's going to happen, I'll show you a little bit when we get over there. I'm about 12 feet right now off of here, so I'm running through here. And then I come up, come over, and then down, setting on the back of the swing.
We talked about putting that back tree in.
That'll all be outside. I mean, quite honestly, we consider those. Taking those out.
What?
I don't even know where this is.
I'll show you.
Yeah, so maybe that'll help when we see it in the way.
Why don't we just walk this way?
Okay.
Yeah, I was over here yesterday with my
daughter kind of walking through, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out where everything's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the fence, roughly. Here, cutting straight across. And the fence line is the line of the baseball.
Now, if we pull this corner in a little bit, so we can get that tree on the side. Well,
roughly where your 5-foot walkway is, right here coming in. So if you're going to do the bridge thing, it'll be whatever, half in, half out here.
So the entryway would be the new covered bridge entryway is about roughly here, right? And then the brick pathway then would connect up with the new interior pathway that'll come phase 2 or 3, however that's determined, but later, right? And then the main sign kiosk would be oriented toward
So the brick path was going to start right here going in, right? I believe.
Yeah, I believe, and then there'd be some sort of connection to that interior pathway.
So we're not going to have a path going to the parking lot yet.
It'll be. It will be.
Yep. No, they're well aware.
Everyone.
Oh.
No, I don't have any connections in baseball.
Here it is. So you can see on their master plan drawing, this is the playground,
Yeah.
And then this is the pathway. So you can see kind of how close the pathway was already to it. So
Right.
basically the covered bridge would be right about in here. So it would connect into there.
Right. I'm just wondering. So when we, I guess, when we open it, and we have finished it, it's all ready to go. We're not going to have this pathway to the. Or will we?
I don't
No.
think we will.
We won't.
No.
Okay. I just
We're
wasn't
not going to
sure.
have this pathway. And I was just talking to Steve. They after the park opens, this baseball field is not,
It's not going to be usable.
you know.
Right.
Right. So they'll have to use that one, and then
They'll be using that one, and they're gonna for a couple of years they're gonna transition up to Strawberry Hill.
okay.
Well, more at Strawberry Hill than what they normally do.
So will all this fencing come down then?
Yep.
Okay. Is there a plan that I guess to fill that in with grass or?
It's probably.
Yeah.
I'll scrape out those clays so they can reuse it somewhere and stuff so they can
Yeah.
leave it for now.
Okay.
So,
So is that is that orange line there? Is that over here? Try not to hit anyone with this. Is this orange line where the edge is?
That's what I'm gonna press two more of it. That way they can still
Do the fence.
And so the
Okay.
is the
But ultimately, I gotta
is
get
the
all the way
Netflix about here?
yeah,
the main
it's
structure
adjacent to the walkway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The walkway is really
Yeah, because the main structure.
I'm realizing so the top of the Netflix is going to
Right
be
here. I figured that out.
close to the tree,
That's like, that was pretty much about it, and I was like, where is it?
Yeah, because the
And
main
then the
structure
swing,
kind
the
of
bigger
sits in
unit.
between the
Right.
zero and the
Yeah.
Netflix.
What I couldn't figure out is how far that way we were going.
Well, let's walk back with
Yeah.
Steve.
When
So
is
this,
the berm going?
this is the 5 to 12 area here
Berm.
with the big 12-foot tall tower structure and then all the slides.
Yeah, like right, I think it's like right here, right in the middle, right here.
After
And then you go
I'm
like
sorry?
that way, you go like the stage structure, and then
Stage structure sort of in the middle. Natural play area is right
Oh, okay,
here,
so after
and then on kind of on the other side where the
where the grass is.
that's where the
swing Okay.
so does it go farther out that way than it does now?
So, and then the zip line would be roughly from this area way up here, and then going down.
Is it like 12 tall or?
I don't think the zip line is nothing.
Yeah, something right now.
But yeah, the zip line
So is that in or out?
what?
That structure?
That part out.
Outside?
Also, we talked about this the other day that you're going to be pulling these out, right?
This can, the exercise equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah, this can stay. It's the one in the dumbbell one in the back we want to tear out.
So
Because it's broken or?
Yeah, you can't get the parts.
Oh.
yeah, so it's broken and they can't find parts for it. So we're going to have to just lose that one because it is all.
The rest of the stuff can stay. Yeah, it could be taken.
Get a little.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much the zip line area here, and then there's another area of wood fiber, and then the natural
The
climbing
hillside.
structure, the hillside climber, right? And then
So where's the fence line here, Steve?
Like right through here.
Okay.
so that tree that's on there that you were asking about trying to include is really much
Oh, it's-
further away.
I was
than-
going to say that's what I'm trying. I can't
Yeah.
figure out which tree it is.
So, just so you know, we marked all the trees that are in the protected inventory. So that's what these ribbons are. And that one's supposed to be marked, but it looks like somebody's pulled that one off. So, yeah, the second one should have a marker as well. The only one in this area that's not going to be protected is the one that had the Bradford Fair that had all the damage. That one's going to come down.
And then I'll speak to what I want to do with the fence. And then the rest of it is going to stay.
Steve, can you repeat what you guys were just saying over here? We had two conversations. I'm trying to get them both filmed.
What were you saying?
I was asking about the grade and whether this is going to stay the same
Yeah,
back.
so I mean, anything outside the fence, I'm not really doing much. So I'll just maybe loom around and blend it together.
And the fence is going to end here,
The
or?
fence is running right up here along the side of the zip line. And then I was gonna turn and just run that way and leave all that stuff outside the fence.
Bill, do you know which tree was the tree that we've been talking about?
It's got to be that one right there.
Is that
the
all the
only
way out
one
there?
Yeah, it's got to be. But I just think we've sort of been putting the GPS markers on the trees and stuff are on our own. So I think it just kind of is really not where it says it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little, looks like it's a little further back.
But the good news is I think once we have the perimeter set, we can always add trees. You know.
So where? I assume the fence will be before those
what I-
trees over there.
Yep. So more or less, looking at the plan, from this, the tall stake to the tall stake is kind of the back of the, this is the back of the corner where the wood chip would be for the zip line, and then the hill climb on the area. So what I was doing was pulling this back about 12 feet for the fence. And I was going to come here, turn, and go that way, and leave all that stuff outside. My issue is where I'm going to put the gate. I want to go and put the gate down there, past that, but I can't drive around and come in with all this stuff. So,
Where does this
if we can actually just walk over here, this is the...
So could
That's
you
the
put
end
the
of the
gate?
picture?
We talked about putting the gate in
Here?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess. Well, no. Well, I don't know
Right.
if you can leave the gate here. Can we talk about putting the gate in here?
Yeah, I mean,
and then you can drive right in, and then maybe move this over just a little bit.
if the intent is to save that stuff, the fence will just be at a weird angle to everything else. But I'll pull this and I can put the gate over here. But then we got to drive like along everything and try to turn and come in. It's a little, I mean, not that we're going to drive in here every day, but
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the more space that you give us in this, the green space you give us in this area will be kind of a meadow. We can call it a meadow in the natural play area that allows kids to run and play. You know what I mean?
I know, but it's part of the potential to drive in and out.
No, yeah, I hear that, but I'm just saying that. But the good use for the kids would be that it would be a running space, right? And then one of the boundaries could be the butterfly garden on the thing that doesn't affect your gate.
Are you talking about driving in like 3 times a year or like 12 times a year or?
I would say under 5.
So like 5 times a year.
If that, some years when I don't even drive in.
Right.
But anyway,
Is that bittersweet residue? Like not residue? Leftover?
Steve, question. Are these trees going to be protected? Are they going to have snow fence?
no,
So we're just hoping that nobody drives, moves, stores something underneath
I'm
it.
only coming through the state.
Yeah, I know, but usually in construction, you go over the boundary.
I am over the boundary. I only really got to prep to these stakes.
Okay.
That's the fence line out there, so.
All right.
Do I like coming along with the fence?
Is this the fence on here?
Yeah. That end might end up going that way a little bit.
I'm stubborn.
So this is really.
So where do you think it was in the butterfly gardens though?
You should get him. Yeah, probably over in.
You guys want to repeat that?
I checked and double checked.
Good. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Could you guys repeat that question?
I asked if he marked it 30 feet off of the rock wall.
Yeah. So this stake here, stake down there, the back of the swing set, more or less. I mean, so we'll come through. We're gonna clean all this out.
So this is all gonna, well, somewhere around here is gonna raise up to what, like this
Yep.
level?
Yep. No.
This level?
3 feet, right?
This level?
Yeah, 2 to 3 feet. So I'm gonna clear all. I mean, get all this material out of here.
How far will the fence be from the back of the swing mulch line? Right on it?
More or less right on the bumper.
So Steve,
Yes.
how do we have a reasonable assurance that adding all of this hardscape, and you can see the grade is coming down this way, doesn't create
It's
excessive water in our backyard?
Yeah, no, what I'm gonna do is try to, because it wants to go that way, so I'm gonna grade it, and that's all I did. It's coming this way naturally,
Right.
so I kind of just stayed with the grade a little bit, although I did pick this end up a little bit. And then what I did was I ran it that way.
Okay.
So,
So out towards the stream?
Yep.
Okay.
So the whole playground grade will kind of go like
kind of,
that way,
That
kind of
way.
a bowlish,
yeah.
half a bowl, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, plus, when you have a little bit of berm here, that's gonna catch water and run it back this
Yeah,
way.
a little bit, right? I'm concerned about all the runoff wanting to go that way. I trust you. You're
Well, I
questioning
mean,
it, yeah.
Yeah, you got the hardscape walkways and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you got, 25 by 100 foot mulch pile that
Mhm.
catches basically.
Large puddle of muddy mulch.
Yeah.
It's onto it.
But no, I figured outside the limits, I would try to swale this around to carry any like crazy runoff,
Mhm.
and I can run it right up along the kind of the natural thing there and out.
Okay.
Because it's not up by where the walkway is. That's lower than back here, so I can manipulate this enough to move it around. Good. I got nothing.
Okay.
So where is the hillside climber approximately?
That 4-inch stake, the one with the thing on top,
Yeah.
the taller one, that's the corner of the
Mulch behind the hillside?
behind the road. So it's kind
Okay.
of in where that right way.
And we were talking about possibly flip-flopping the climbing rocks and the hillside climber thing, so that if we did go with natural stones, that it would be sort of a natural area, right? It would tie into the natural play area on this side in here, and then the hillside thing would be the manufactured thing that would look kind of tie into the zip line and everything else. So being kind of a natural swath in the thing, including that new meadow.
Right.
For kids to run in.
Is that the problem with this flip-flopper? So is this the corner of the swings, or?
The back corner of the mulch area, the swings are going to be up in through here.
Okay. But I mean, sorry, the swings were all this direction from
You
this.
see the other stake down here,
Yeah.
about 100 feet away. This is the
This is like 100 feet of
yeah,
swings.
yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Any questions? Anybody have any other questions or anything?
So the only, Steve, I guess it over there. So when we're looking at where the fence line is over here,
Yep.
I guess I know I keep going on it, but is there any way, I know we're not going to probably get that tree in there, but is there any way to go back like another 5 or 10 feet to get more of that green space behind the zip line and behind the climber?
Well, you
Because
got.
it seems like everything's like super tight, you know what I mean, with the fence line.
If you want me to take down those 3 trees you got ribbons on, I'd gladly move the fence back.
Why couldn't you put the fence? Like how
I can't be in a zone, so I can only be. I gotta be, however far away from that tree.
Yeah, the way I see it, Steve, is we have to stop focusing that this is just Roberts Field. It's all of that. So if people want green space, there's a lot of green space over there.
Yeah, but
The
we're
more
not-
people that you focus in here, the more intrusive you become to the neighbors. So just consider that.
Yeah,
But
I guess
we're talking about having a space where the kids can be corralled.
You're
and
talking about a space which continues to put a lot of people in this area, right? So as an abutter, I'm just saying, the
Well,
more and
we'll
more
be
that you
over
focus
there.
people in here,
Right, we'll be over
you're
there.
focusing people in here. So you go home at the end of the night. This is our home. This is
which
something
you
to
bought
consider.
next to a
I know.
car.
I live in the
Yeah.
I live down the street too. I live
Yeah.
a couple houses down from you, so I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear with the park too. I mean, I guess it was asked of us by most of the town to have a lot of green space where the kids can run around. Right. That was one of the big things that people asked for. So that's why I'm trying to accommodate the majority of the requests from the town.
But my
can't.
point
And not-
is still
not by a
valid.
lot,
is
right? Just
we
by
have
a
a whole
little.
park over here, right? So this is not just Roberts Field. It's the whole area.
yeah. I mean, we definitely hear that. We've definitely tried to make a lot of accommodations to keep we push the 5 to 12 area, a
All
good
of the
distance
structures
away.
are as far away from the fence line as
Right.
possible. I mean, we're talking about where kids can run around. I mean, I'm not sure how much noise you're worried about the running around kids, but
Because they're either going to do it over here, or they're going to do it over there, right? Either way, my suggestion is like another 5 to 10 feet. That's about it, right? Just so that the fence line isn't so close to all the structures, and when you're kind of walking around, you don't have like 5 feet. You have a good distance to be able to go around the mulch.
And I think the difference is too is that it's fenced in, so the smaller kids, the parents can keep their children better corralled, right? That's the idea, and nothing huge but big enough that kids can run and play tag and stuff like that. So, and I mean, if we get to a point where it is creating a nuisance, I mean, we've got the berm here that runs. It's a pretty, when you get over into this area, it's a much further setback, I think, than what you're dealing with. But we can always make accommodations. I mean, once we get in here and start cleaning out all this bittersweet and stuff, it's going to open up that area for those abutters as well. So I would expect that we're going to, need to be talking about some kind of a planting kind of a thing to address that as well as we move forward.
With like phase 2.
Yeah, I mean, because if you look at this, a lot of this stuff is really bittersweet, and so once this stuff gets pulled out, it's going to open up the sound and visual access into the playground as well. So, do you have any other comments, Dave? No? Any other questions or comments, anybody?
So you guys are starting Monday, you said?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
A few days worth of work.
Yeah.
so that's just mostly starting with bringing down the level and taking out the dead-ish tree.
Yep. And from a budgeting standpoint, so everything that was in the original 450 is in the plan, with the exception of 3 things that weren't in there that we're talking about now. One is the natural play area. So all the stuff, and I gave out a handout that kind of has at least where we are now. It's a work in progress, but at least it kind of gives you an idea of where the committee's discussing it. So the natural play area, the engraved brick pathway, which will connect to the older brick pathway, and then depending on how successful we end up being, we'll either connect to just the new entryway area, or maybe actually wrap around and connect into the shade structure. And then the replacement of the building of the new entryway, and then the sign kiosk. So those 3 things are the things that we're going to be needing to focus our fundraising efforts on. And then monies after that will go back to pay down the CPF funds. So, any other questions? All right. Well, we've got a meeting Wednesday, so if any other questions do come up, please come down to room 205 at 7 o'clock on May 2nd, and we'll talk about it again there. All right. Good. Rain makes this easy.
Yeah, right. Nobody wants to hang on the rain.
All right. Well, I guess if you want to give a motion just to adjourn, and we'll call it a day.
Motion to adjourn?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you all for coming out.
Trust me, they want to cut 10 feet off of our property.